Okay, our next judge before the intermission is Ken Blakesley. He is the chairman of Web Mobility Ventures. Ken's focus is technology-enabled, consumer-driven change driven by AI in wellness, preventive healthcare, and immersive content sectors. Ken.
Thank you. Well, CES this year seems to be very much about connected things. But the C in CES stands for consumer. So it's very much about connected things, connected people, connected things on people, connected things in people where people hang out. I think that's quite an interesting one. But gathering this all together and making some sense out of it for the very person themselves requires, in other words, augmenting their lifestyle, not just because of themselves, but where they are, what they're doing, and so on. This requires a bit of AI, artificial intelligence. So the combination of lots of sensors, and I've seen lots of them here, and AI, and a user experience, something, and we've seen some very good ones here, user experience that lets people actually take advantage of the whole thing is a kind of a killer combination. So the judges saw in this, they saw sensors, user interface, and a place that people spend a lot of time in their car. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Dan Crawford from Raven. Dan?
Thanks. Thanks, Ken. I'm really excited to be here today to introduce Raven. But before I do, a bit of background. The average car on the road is 12 years old. Half are newer, half are older than 2006. That's the year Borat came out. The other really interesting thing is that brand spanking new cars only make up 3%. There's a great quote that sums this up. People are essentially driving around in a rotary phone. Which is a real shame because phones have come so far in the last decade. To sum it, it doesn't have to be this way because there's a simple upgrade that anyone can do themselves. It's called Raven. Here it is. What we've done is combine a bunch of products into one. It's part dashcam, part security system, part OBD dongle, part dashboard, and GPS. What makes it truly unique, though, is that we also added cellular connectivity and a dedicated power source. We also packed in a bunch of sensors, so if your car gets run into, if the door's open, if the window's smashed, you'll receive an alert on your phone. Pull up the app, and you'll get a real-time view into your vehicle. Let me show you. So this is a friend's car in Ottawa right now. We can see where the vehicle is, where it came from, where it's headed, the speed they're going, the fuel level, if there's any problems with the engine, and we're getting updates from the cameras. Now, pretend you're in the driver's seat. There's both cameras. There's a forward-facing camera and a road-facing camera. Both of them are recording continuously. So if you see something interesting, you can let Raven know using a simple hand gesture. Let me show you. Raven detects your hand, and it reaches back 20 seconds in the video stream, and it sets aside the next minute for safekeeping. So if you saw something interesting, you can do this, and actually this happened to a coworker. He was driving home, saw a car on fire, did the gesture, got the video. Take a look. There's more. So with all this video that we're saving, we can do some really interesting things. At the end of every trip, we create a time lapse of your journey. I was recently out in the mountains of BC. Here's a short time lapse from that trip. And there's more. So as a driver, you can invite friends and family to have access to your Raven. It's a great way to stay connected with loved ones. All I have to do is hit here, and we set up a live video feed to that car. So here they are driving around in Ottawa right now. Let's take a look at the occupants. There they are. There's my dev team. I think they missed me. Folks, there's 100 million rotary phones on the cars today that could benefit from this upgrade. Please help us accomplish that. Thank you.
Nicely done, Dan.
Thanks.
Apparently your family's in the audience. Yeah. So here's the thing. When the meteor fell in Russia,
Yep.
we had these incredible videos of the meteor falling, and it's only because in Russia, everybody has a dash cam. Why are dash cams not a thing in this country?
I don't know. It's like, so part of Russia, I guess there's been a lot of corruption, and also on the insurance side, there's a lot of issues, and a lot of accidents. So there's a lot of motivation for people to own a dash cam in their vehicle. Whereas here, the levels of corruption are much lower, and insurance is, I guess, a much more established industry.
I see. And what is your background that brought you into making high-end dash cams?
Just electrical engineer. I've always, worked with electronics and software. So
I've reviewed a bunch of dash cams, and one of the big problems is at night. There's just not enough light for these tiny little smartphone-type cameras. How did this baby do?
it does well. We spent a lot of time researching the cameras and choosing all the different variables for the CMOS sensors that it would operate well in low light conditions. We also added an infrared LED here. So with the cabin cam, we have night vision.
I see. How did the guy in Ottawa know that it was time to wave? Does he hear you?
Yeah, so when you switch cameras to the cabin cam, we sort of flash the screen and there's a sound notification to let you know that somebody else is watching.
I see. I mean, there is a little Black Mirror element to this, right? Like,
well, it's all up to the driver. They own the device and they can choose who they invite and.
oh, okay. So the teenager could
capabilities
just drape a T-shirt over this or something. And
Yep.
anyway, how much?
It's we're in pre-sales right now. It's $269. We'll be shipping in March, and the price goes up to $299 then.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dan.
Right.
Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.